4.0 GPA Inc. is an award-winning education company that provides enrichment programs and helps students prepare for college and technical programs. This company has won several business awards. They've recently published a new book called What is College by Henry Kukula Jr., which empowers students as early as elementary school to learn about college, HBCUs, that is, historically Black colleges and universities, Ivy League schools, careers, and scholarships. This is an excellent book for students in elementary, middle, and high school. This book was the #1 seller on Amazon. Their video game, What is College, comes out on September 1st on iTunes. Purchase your copy today on www.40gpa.com or amazon.com. Contact them to assist your child in preparing for college and obtaining scholarship funding. Again, the website is 40gpa.com. Education is the key to success.
David Banner.
What's happening, y'all? This is David Banner. Welcome to the David Banner Podcast. I have a special guest, y'all. This one is personal. My friend, one of the greatest writers of all time, one of the greatest artists of all time, one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Like, not just in music, but in the world, bro. I think you're rare on this planet, man. Welcome to the David Banner Podcast, Neo, y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us some of the stuff you do, bro.
Well, aside from being my brother's keeper, aside from being a good brother and good friend to my brother David Banner here, I sing a little bit. I've written some songs in my time. I am one of 3 judges on NBC's World of Dance. I act a little bit. I produce a little bit. I am a father of 4 beautiful children. I am a best husband I can be to Crystal Renee Smith. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm all that, man. I'm all these things and more. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's what it is.
Okay, well, we're gonna pay the bills first, man.
Yeah.
Let's get to the reason why we're here. Banner Vision is producing a Thurgood Marshall college fundraiser this year.
Yes, indeed.
And they charged me with not only producing the fundraiser or the homecoming concert, but they charged me to make a song to give people the feeling of a homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first told me about it, I came to you.
Yeah.
I called you, and I never forget. I was like, bro, I got the budget. He was like, bro, we'll worry about all that later, man. But to tell us the motivation behind what you wrote and what was the excitement? Like, because when you heard the beat, I can tell we've been around each other long enough for me to tell when it's all right and then when it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Tell us about Come Home.
Well, first and foremost, when you call me about it, again, once you call me, you don't ever call me with no BS. You know what I'm saying? Every time you call me, it's something real, it's something legit, it's something meaningful. You know, so just picking up the phone, I'm like, all right, what we doing? Where we at? What is it? You know what I'm saying? Just because that's who you are. So when you told me what it was, now I unfortunately did not go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go to college. Fresh out of high school, I kind of knew already, you know, what I wanted my life path to be, and I pursued that. But I do understand and know the importance of college, especially historical Black colleges, because it's one of the few places where we, and when I say we, I mean Black people, get to see us and get to learn about us and the fact that our history does not start with slavery, that we've been kings and queens for a long time. You don't get that knowledge. You don't get that genuine, real knowledge pretty much anywhere else in the world. Right. You know, even in high school, on your way up, they're not going to give you Black history the way they're supposed to. So these historical Black colleges is basically filling in all the gaps that every other ounce of schooling you get will leave open for you.
You know something that hurts me, brother? I am from Jackson, Mississippi. Medgar Evers is one of the greatest freedom fighters of all times, bro, and he's from Jackson, Mississippi. We fought, shot guns, partied all up Medgar Evers, the street named after him, and I didn't know who Medgar Evers was until I went to college. And I'm from Mississippi. Matter of fact, there's a mural now that's that you know that they put up that I happen to be on, and he's on there. And I was telling people, like, I hope to make the movie about Medgar Evers, and that's why what you say hit me. It resonated so much because that's true. It's like, and now I'm learning that it's really nobody else's responsibility to teach us our history, even if they wanted to.
But ours.
You know, so why do you think it's so important for us to protect the legacy of HBCUs?
Because as we've seen throughout history, they, and by they, I don't necessarily mean any one specific race. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take it there. I'm just going to say that history has shown us that a lot of things have been done to erase our history. A lot of things have been done to kind of hide our history from us. And I personally think it's a means of control. It's like, well, if we don't know that we were ever great, how could we ever aspire to be great? If we don't know that oh, no. It's not that we need to get there, it's that we need to get back there because we was already there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But if you don't ever know that, if all you know is what you're being shown, if all you know is, all right, well, it's a liquor store and a gun shop in my neighborhood. All right, well, the people I look up to is drug dealers in my neighborhood. All right, well, basketball or music is the only way I'm gonna get out. If that's all you see, that's all you know, and that's all you aspire to. Right. Historical black colleges are helping us realize that there is so much more that we're capable of. There's so many more things that we can do with our intelligence, with our creativity, with our style, with our grace, with our essence. We are part of why some of the best things in the world are the best things in the world. Right. But if you don't know that, if nobody tells you that, how would you ever know it?
Right.
How would you ever know it? So that's why HBCUs are so important, because it's about making sure that we understand that we're better than what we're being shown. We're better than what we've been given. We're better than we're better than where we've been put. Right. Period, point blank.
Because it was funny, man. You didn't. It wasn't no paper. It wasn't nothing. You just sat there and you thought. You it was more like a meditation session, man. And you was like, okay, ready. Was your last answer your motivation for the song?
My motivation for the song. Well, for one, you gave me a very good blueprint to work from. You know, when you're like, okay, so this is the feel that we're going for. This is what we want people to feel when they hear this record. Like that makes it that much easier for me. That makes it painting by numbers at that point. Because it's like, okay, this is the emotion that we're trying to pull out of people. This is the energy that we're trying to produce. Okay. Now let me lock into that energy and just snatch the words as they hit me in the face, as they're flowing through the air.
So just for the people, we're going to tell them, because they're going to say, well, what did he say?
Right.
I basically was telling him, like, the idea that they had is they want to give a virtual homecoming, because there's a lot of, you know, people who are missing homecoming. And homecoming for us, especially as Southerners, it means a little bit more than just football and the band.
Absolutely.
It's an opportunity for a lot of people to come home. You know, and a lot of people who've moved to the West Coast, who moved, you know, on the East Coast, who moved to the Midwest after all of the things that our people went through in the South. Some even moved to other countries. They send their kids to HBCUs to figure out their identity, because in so many cases they've had to go to schools in places where people don't look like us. Right. So when I wanted, the feeling that I had for the song is, yeah, we're going to make it feel like it's a homecoming, and it's going to make it feel like, okay, we jamming at Southern University in Baton Rouge where I went to school.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to leave an undertone of, no, come home. Yeah. Let's not just do it as it pertains to HBCUs. Let's shop together.
Absolutely.
Let's protect each other. You know what I'm saying?
I've always felt the way about the fact that in order for me to, quote unquote, better myself, right, I have to move away from my people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I gotta go to a Harvard or a Yale or and no disrespect to any of these schools. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's always been brought to me like, all right, well, if you really want to get to the best version of yourself, you have to step outside of just what you know about your people. You have to step outside of just being around your people. It can't just be BET. It's got to be MTV and VH1 and all. It can't just be black people. And I've always been like, well, hell, why? Yeah. Why not? Why can't it be us? Why does it being us always have to mean less than.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing, if people would do their research, Europeans came to study at the concept of colleges came from Africans.
Mm-hmm.
So they came and studied at the feet of our ancestor, or the feet, I said feet. No, the feet of our ancestors. And then because we lost history, we look to them to teach something that we actually gifted to them.
Right.
You know, so I just really, really appreciate the fact that you were willing to give your talents to make sure that other people that look like us have an opportunity to go to school with people who look like them. So, bro, on the behalf of the Thurgood Marshall Foundation, on the Banner Vision, bro, we'd like to thank you for being a part of the song, brother.
Not a problem.
Soon as we get an opportunity, we're going to have to find one of these HBCUs to, you know what I'm saying, give you something behind your name real quick.
I like it.
They
I'm
gave
with
it
it.
to Shaq, man. You need
I'm
you
with
one,
it.
bro.
Come on with it. I'm with it.
All right, so let's move along, man. Musically, bro, I really don't think people understand, man, the depth of your writing, bro. Can you give us a history, a small history? You don't have to name every name, but like, just let people know some of the songs that you were behind.
All right. Well, some of the more famous ones, of course, there's Beyonce's Irreplaceable. There's Mario's You Should Let Me Love You. With Rihanna, I did Hate That I Love You that we did together. I did Good Girl Gone Bad. I did Take a Bow for her. I did a few with Rihanna. I've been blessed to work with a lot of really, really, really incredible artists. Mary J. Blige, Lionel Richie, Celine Dion. The list goes on, and it's a blessing. I almost feel cocky when I talk about it, but I have to get myself out of that mind state and understand that.
Can I tell you
I've
something
been
really
blessed.
quick?
Yes.
My cousin Derek from Brookhaven, Mississippi, he said, it's not cocky, it's not ego if the data matches up.
Very real.
He said the empirical data is what it is.
Mm.
So why should we not be able to just give people facts? It's not
That's
like
real.
it's not like you talking about some shit that did not happen. Like,
Right.
bro, you are one of the greatest artists of all, not just one of the greatest artists, but one of the greatest writers of all times. And the thing is, I'm tired of our people waiting until after somebody dies. One of my best friends said, if something ever happened to you, I don't want to hear nobody on this earth say that we need another David Banner because you didn't do shit with the one that was here.
Straight up.
You know, bro, even as a friend, bro, like, I was slow on some of the biggest records that you were behind, bro. Like, I didn't even know, you know, because we usually don't even talk about music when we talk. You know, how's the family, man? What's up? What you been doing, man? How you feel about this shit? You know what I'm saying? But honestly, bro, what song that you wrote that you're the most proud of?
Most proud of. Song I'm most proud of. You know what? I don't know if there's one that I'm the absolute most proud of above everything else, but one that ranks really, really high is Beyonce's Irreplaceable. And not because it became a mega hit, because there were so many lessons that I learned through that process.
Can you give us a couple? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I learned that even though a situation or circumstance can be the same for either sex, meaning man or woman, there are some lyrics that just make more sense on a woman than on a man. For example, if you dating a young lady and you find out that she cheating on you, rolling around in a car that you bought with another dude, and you put all her stuff in a box to the left of the closet, and you tell her, I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, she'll be here in a minute. It would be somewhat valid because of what's going on. Well, I mean, she cheating, she rolling around in your car with another dude. Yeah, you upset, you supposed to say that. However, what I learned is me as a male R&B artist with, at the time, a primarily female audience, for me to say, I can have another you in a minute, matter of fact, she'll be here in a minute, no matter what the situation, just comes across wrong.
Yeah.
It just comes across wrong. It's like, they not going to praise me for this, they gonna hate me for this. So that's when we realized, all right, maybe we should get a female to do this record. Because you take those same lyrics, you take that same situation, and you put it on a woman, and you let her say, I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute. And all of a sudden that's right, girl. Yeah, it's empowering. You know what I mean?
That shit hurt me, though.
It's been true. You feel like so yeah. It was a
Let's
whole
talk
lot
about
of
that. Oh, it went straight through,
bang, out the back.
the blood.
This is
I've been hit.
Yeah, that rib is broken. Yeah, it went straight through. But yeah, I had a lot of boyfriends and husbands real mad at me behind that record. Yeah. But that I learned that every lyric ain't for every artist. Every song ain't for every artist. Mind you, Beyonce was not the first artist that got that song. I didn't write that song specifically for Beyonce. As I said, I initially wrote it thinking that I was going to do it. We realized that it wasn't going to work for me. We should do it for a female artist. We shopped it to at least 5 other female artists whose names you know. I won't say them right now because that's just not classy.
We won't get it right.
But 5 other artists who listened to it and went, I don't really get it. I'm like, all right, cool. And then in comes Beyonce. Oh, okay, slightly country, slightly pop, slightly R&B. Oh, let's get it. Yeah, because those 5, I'm more than certain that every time they hear that song, they just jump up and get themselves a little personal kick in the ass. Like, what was I thinking? Damn it. But it's all good. It happens like that. I didn't intend on that song becoming a woman anthem, but it did. And it just goes to show, like, you kind of just got to go with what's in here and let the world figure out where they're going to put it. You can't so much go, all right, I'm going to do this, and it's going to happen like this, and then it's going to be this, and it's going to be this, and and it's going to work. You can't do that. You have to be open enough to have a plan, but at the same time, be flexible within your plan because things are not always going to go 1, 2, 3 the way you want them to. It's going to go 1, A, X, Z, 3, A, B. Like, it's gonna move around. But if you are consistent in what it is that you're doing, you'll get to where you're trying to go.
Okay. Let me ask you, would this sentiment be correct? Would you say your ability to feel things is a strength as it pertains to your writing?
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
absolutely.
With that being said, how have you been able to navigate yourself through the music industry with so many people grabbing, so many people, not just from a fan perspective, but labels, lawyers, the things that I've been through, man, you know, coming from Mississippi, actually caring about people, wanting to help people, but realizing, I told somebody recently, I had to kill some of the kind me because there's no way that I could move forward with my heart open like that.
Yeah.
How have you been able to navigate yourself through? Because a lot of things I don't even call you about, bro, because I always say when you find good people, they should be the last people that you call when you really need something because you know that they're going to be there. So we sort of got to protect each other. How have you been able to protect yourself?
By not completely buying into the celebrity element of this shit. I mean, it's one thing to you know, do what you do and gain some success, but with that success, like with all the good of that comes the bad, and you have to kind of roll with the bad. When you allow other people's opinion of you, other people's opinion of your art to be the end all, to be the most important thing in your world, here's just a reality of what it is to be in the entertainment business. You're going to go up, and at some point, you're going to come down. Now, you might slowly come down. You might come down and then go back up and then start working your way down. But everybody in the industry at some point finds their way back down. Like, that's just what naturally happens. It ain't nothing wrong. It don't say anything negative about you because it literally happens to everyone. But if you've created this world for yourself, where the only thing that matters is how much everyone praises you, the second they stop praising you, your whole world collapses. And that's when you see these mental breakdowns. That's when you see Britney Spears shaving her head. No disrespect to Britney, but you know, it happened and we saw it and it is what it was. This industry will drive you insane if you let it. You have to hold on to that thing in you that says above celebrity, above artistry, above money, above fame, I am a human being. If you cut me, I bleed red like everybody else. If I got to pee right now, I'm going to go to the bathroom and pee. I am a human being first. And that's the way I navigate it. I don't allow the rumors and the accusation and the scandal and all of that. I don't allow that stuff to penetrate because it's like, this is the music industry is fantasy. Everybody knows that. It's based off of fantasy. Every rapper claiming they're rich ain't rich, okay? All the jewelry that you're seeing ain't real. Not all of it. Some of it, not all of it. That's just kind of what it is. So if you allow all of that stuff to stay in that box, okay, this is the fantasy box. This is, I know that it has to happen, but I'm going to keep it over here. I'm not going to let it penetrate my heart. I'm not going to let it be so important to me that now I'm neglecting my kids because I'm in the studio all day, all night trying to get that next hit so that the world can love me again. Well, what about your kids over here? What about the people that you're supposed to care about? What about the real and true and genuine unconditional love over here? You'll neglect that to go get this fake love over here from your fans. Not saying that fan love is completely fake. I have some of the best fans in the world. But in comparison to the love for my children and the love for my mother and my sister and my wife, these are people that if I never sell another record again are still going to love me the same. Can't necessarily say that about everybody out here. But you know, you'll allow that to be more important than this, so you'll neglect this and go for that, not realizing that this over here, as beautiful as it is, the next cat that come up that do what you do or do something better than what you do or whatever the case may be, they're all gonna go over there.
Let me just take this moment to take up for all the rappers in the industry. Neo just said some jury is fake and
some of it is.
Then he went, some of it is real. It actually looks like this.
Some of it is fake, some of it is real. But what I'm basically saying is that,
the real shit looks like,
Right. But that's how I'm motivated, man. That's how I navigate it. I don't let the celebrity element of this be more important than it needs to be. I didn't get into this to be a celebrity. Well, I didn't get into this to get rich, to be honest with you. I got into this because I love music, and I let that be the motivating factor as to why I do what I do.
Well, let me ask you this, man. One of the things I'm the most proud of my friends and the people that I call my friends are that they're great fathers. Let's talk about Neo the father.
Man, I love being a father. I love watching my kids grow and their little personalities develop and seeing bits and pieces of me in there, along with bits and pieces of somebody that I don't know yet because they're growing up and they're creating it as they grow. I do know that I need to be a little harder on my kids. I realize that. I told myself that I wasn't gonna be that dad who's wrapped around their children's little finger. Like, nah, that ain't gonna be me. Nah. But my daughter is 9 and anything she asks for, she probably gonna get if she come to me first. That's just how that is. It's interesting to watch my boys grow up, and they're very much like their dad. They wear their heart on their sleeve. You know what I'm saying? They're not sensitive as much as they are just really, really in touch with their emotions. You know what I mean? And I realized that as the father figure, as the role model, I have to kind of put that toughness on them. I have to let them know, all right, it's okay to feel emotions. It's all right to express emotion, but you need to know when to express it, and you need to figure out how to not let the emotion control you. And it's a hard lesson to teach. I'm learning that as we go because my oldest boy is 8. My youngest boy is 2. I got 3 boys and 1 girl. My girl is my oldest. And the importance of that relationship. Like it just takes me back to how my mom raised me. And as I'm a dad now and I see things happening that I remember doing from the other side when I was a kid and my mom was raising me. And it just makes me just appreciate her that much more because she figured out how to perfectly toe the line between being just enough my friend and just enough that, put it down when it needs to be put down. She found the perfect line to where it's like we were so much friends that there was nothing I couldn't talk to my mom about. But
my mom, it was. Well, of course, my dad was very, very strict, so that was maybe the reason why me and my mom could be the way that we are. But me and my mother was so close that it would hurt me to hurt her.
Right.
So like
exactly
when I would fuck up, I'd be like, damn. A story that I tell people a lot. When I was, in high school and in the streets and stuff, when I wasn't really out there like that, I would come home early because I knew I would literally hear my mom when I would put the key in the door and open the door. My mom would go, I would hear my mother exhale.
Yeah.
So if
Relief.
like
Relief
right,
that you made,
especially
that you came
because
home.
at the time when I was in high school, Jackson, Mississippi was the murder capital of the United States. So it was like if I wasn't really doing nothing, if I didn't really have a date or we wasn't in the streets real tough, I would actually come home early, bro. They were like, "Why you going home at 10? If we ain't really doing that, I just don't want that on my mom."
Yeah, I don't want her to continue worrying.
Right, that's the type of relationship that me and my mom had. And I remember I had gotten so big, and my mother was so short that she would whoop me and she would hurt herself. and I would actually feel bad that I was putting her through that shit. So I had to give her something like, "Mama, you killing me." And I would really be pissed off at myself that I made her feel that way.
Right.
Though, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. Yeah. A lot of times it wasn't even, you didn't even need the whooping.
Right.
Like I was hurt enough knowing that I disappointed my mom. Like she would give me this look and it's like, you just crumble. Like, oh man. Like she didn't even have to touch me. I knew the whooping was coming anyway because that's just who my mama was. But she almost didn't even have to do it because the fact that I knew that I had disappointed her so much was enough to just completely break me down. And I'm seeing that in my kids now. So it just again makes me appreciate her that much more because I'm like, how the hell did you do that? How did you figure out how to be just enough of a friend and then just enough of a parent to where, because if you're too strict, you almost push your kids into what you don't want them to do. But then if you're not strict enough, they don't respect what you say. It's like, oh, that's my homeboy. Yeah, we good. It's like, nah. She figured out how to be right on that line. And even to this day, I'm like, man, how? Yeah. Because this is not easy.
I think sometimes it also has to do with the type of child that you were, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't give ourselves that credit, too. Because what I actually realized this through having a staff. Like, I used to be with everybody all the time. Let's get this right. Some people shut down. Some kids shut down when you do that.
Yep.
Some kids get better. They take it as a challenge. A person told me you could have two brothers or two sisters who have the same amount of adversity. One can go down the wrong path, and that same adversity can motivate the other.
Yeah.
So that also is, I think it's a reflection of the type of person, because look at the type of person you are now, in my opinion.
Real.